Hello everyone and welcome to Mountain Lake Journal. I'm Tom Halleck. This week, while other businesses forced to close down during the coronavirus shutdown have been reopening in phases, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has put the opening of shopping malls like Champlain Centre here in Plattsburgh on hold. The extended closure with no end in sight has left tenants here at the mall frustrated.
It's very bad.
Simpson Wynn owns a nail salon that has now been closed for nearly 4 months. He's even more frustrated that it's still closed, given Clinton County's one active COVID-19 case.
It's nothing here. You know, we keep staying home for 3 months. No money, no working.
Champlain Centre is home to 51 stores and more than 900 employees. Nearly 500 of them do not work in an anchor store with separate entrances, so they are still out of work.
How unfair is it that our small businesses and their employees cannot open back up right inside that building when other businesses around here can? It's unfair. We want to level the playing field, and we should do it today.
Governor Cuomo says malls won't be allowed to reopen until the state health department can determine if their air filtration systems are circulating the coronavirus, and if there are special filters that could remove it from the air and help prevent the spread of COVID-19.
There are air filtration devices, air filters, that can actually help with the COVID virus. And NASA has studied these. There are HEPA filters, which are high efficiency particulate air filters that can actually filter out the COVID virus. The COVID virus is 0.1 microns. There are HEPA filters that can filter out 0.01. So any malls that will open in New York, large malls, we will make it mandatory that they have air filtration systems that can filter out the COVID virus. For many of these systems, it depends on what filter you install, called the MERV rating of the filter. But they have different filters that filter out different size particles. And they have filters that can actually filter out and catch the COVID virus. For large mall reopenings, which we haven't done yet, but we're going to make this mandatory.
And while the governor says the state will also recommend that other large retail stores and restaurants start using the specialized filters, those businesses have been allowed to open. Mall business owners like Greg Nephew, whose hobby shop remains closed, says that is unfair.
We feel this is extremely unfair. We'd like to know what we need to do to get open. And at this point, there are a lot of us that are in danger of not surviving.
Local lawmakers, business leaders, and tenants of Champlain Centre all gathered this week outside the mall to voice their frustration and call on the governor to provide specific guidelines for the mall and business owners to meet in order to reopen.
What is the path forward? Plattsburgh has led the region and New York State many times over. Let this be another one of those moments.
Well, if you're not quite ready to reopen mall interiors in downstate New York, start with the region that is the lowest risk and has done the best job of being prepared for this. Open to one region. Let it be the trial.
Meantime, salons across the state and the North Country reopened a month ago, but Rhonda Durham's hair salon remains closed and 25 employees out of work.
Every other salon is open. So here we are. You can see our door, but we just can't get to it. So yeah, it's frustrating.
I feel like if other big box stores are open, we're not that much bigger than, most of the other stores that are already open.
For now, gyms and movie theaters are also excluded from the businesses being allowed to reopen under Phase 4, although the governor hasn't said if they, too, will need special air filters. The governor has given no timetable for malls, gyms, and movie theaters to reopen. Colleges and universities, though, are being allowed to open. So can art galleries and museums. And churches will be able to hold services at 33% capacity, up from 25%. The governor this week also issued a travel advisory requiring people from coronavirus hotspots who come to New York to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. That also includes New Yorkers who travel to those other states and then return home. Those new travel restrictions will keep many athletes and their families from coming to the Adirondacks this summer to compete in the Ironman Triathlon, and was a factor in the decision this past week by community leaders in the village of Lake Placid and Essex County to cancel the Ironman for this year. The triathlon draws thousands of competitors and their families to the Adirondacks every summer.